city dock underwent a sizable renovation a few years back. They tore out all the old wood docks that had been there for many years and installed new concrete top floating docks, which are similar to what you walked across when you boarded the Naples Princess. There's 80 slips at a cost of $4.5 million. They do house local fishermen, local pleasure boats, and transient boats like you see over on our right. A little further to the right is the downtown area of Old Naples. Beyond that, about a mile and a half, is the Gulf of America. And out into the Gulf extends the Naples Fishing Pier, which is normally 1,000 feet long. Right now it's non-existent because of Hurricane Irma, and they are starting the rebuild. It was originally built back in 1888 by the Naples Town Improvement Company, and at that time it was 600 feet long and was the only means of access to Naples. And over the years it's been destroyed by hurricane and fire 7 different times. The next dock system on our right is the Naples Yacht Club. It's a little bare in there right now. They're doing some runoff from the Everglades. It does empty directly into the Gulf, and because of that, we're subject to tide changes on a daily basis of up to 3.5 feet. And right now, we're kind of at a neutral high tide at this point. The vessel we're traveling on is a skipper liner that was built by Skipper Liner Industries up in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Construction of this vessel was completed late in 2008. It left La Crosse, came down the Mississippi, crossed the portion of the Gulf, and ended up in Naples in December of that year. We're 105 feet in length. The overall width is 25.5 feet. And we only draw about 5.5 feet of water, which isn't much when you consider the size of the vessel, but it's by design because of the shallow waters we're traveling in. We're mostly built of steel. We do have some aluminum on the top deck, and our original price was $3.8 million. A few years ago, they put $1.2 million into renovating the vessel. They replaced everything inside. They replaced the 2 drive engines and one of the generators. The Spaniards landed here in the 16th century, and around 1835, the Seminole Indians moved into southern Florida and settled at the base of Lake Okeechobee, which is a little north of us. In 1885, a man named Hamilton Biston acquired 1 million acres of land from the government as a result of a drainage contract. Shortly after that, he bought another 4 million acres and only paid 25 cents per acre. Walter Haldeman is considered to be the founder of Naples. He and a group of investors bought 8,700 acres of land from Biston. They paid $1.50 an acre and sold lots for $10 a piece. Many of those lots are on the Gordon River or waterways that tie into it. They would probably be worth at least $1 billion in today's market. Between 1900 and 1915, there were about 200 people that lived here on a year-round basis. And in 1915, a man named Creighton brought in 2 railroads and a roadway and was instrumental in the Tamiami Trail, which opened in 1928. That was named after the primary areas that it served, which was Tampa and Miami. And what you see around you today probably got to start in the early 60s. Along our right is Naples' first waterfront, which is called Aqua Lake Shores. Some of them probably started out on that building out here. They refer to these as dredge and fill communities. Channels like the one we just passed on our right, sure of much of what surrounds us. If we were to travel down the river to Marco Island, which is about 8 miles to the south, you would find that Marco is formed in a similar fashion. Numerous channels were carved out of the mangrove forest.
here to the left, to the right, straight ahead.
Are going to head into the Gulf at this time, and there is a chop out there from all this wind out of the northeast, but it shouldn't be too bad. But as you look around the boat, be sure it's steady yourself.
I thought I saw.
This Gordon's property had a trailer court on it back in the sixties. Right now, that property, I understand, is still for sale, I believe. It has one of the higher listing prices in the US. The house we passed just a moment ago on our right was the one on our immediate right. And the main home, which is next to that main home is 26,000 square feet. They're on 7 acres of property and got a small yacht harbor behind. And it's on the market, I understand, for $271 million. Now that's a reduction from what it was about a year ago. It was $291 million at that time, so now it's a pretty good market. Family that owned it is quite large. They have 13 children and well over 200 to 400 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. This is just their winter residence, their main house is in Pittsburgh. That's the case for many people in Fort Well, only around 20%, maybe even a little less, live there on a year-round basis. Now, if you look up the beach to the right, you can see those cranes off in the distance. That's where they're working on